you so much for the introduction. Hello, everyone. Welcome again to today's training session from Flinders. And again, my name is Mandy. I'm the Country Recruitment Officer of Flinders International. And today I will be introducing the university, the city Adelaide, and also some very popular courses offered from Flinders, and also some other more admission stuff that maybe you will need to know about when you are recruiting students. So I will start now. And I know that today we have both Yes Education and some agent partners here. So if you have any applications, please feel free to submit through Yes Education and for Flinders University. So maybe I will start now about today's session. Okay, so. First of all, I would like to share with you the Flinders campuses in Adelaide. So we have 3 campuses in Adelaide City. So the first one and the main one will be the Bedford Park main campus. So majority of our courses will be held here. So it's a very nice, very beautiful campus, a big campus. And next is the Tonsley campus. And this is a new campus located in the Innovation Park. And it's for engineering, IT, and mathematics students. So it's very good environment for these students in terms of technology, facilities, and etc. So this is a Tonsley campus, very nice location for these students. And finally, the main, the city center campus, the Victoria Square campus, located in the CBD. And this is mainly for postgraduate business students, and also for our pre-master program students that they will then progress to our postgraduate business courses. So these are the 3 campuses of Flinders in Adelaide. And next, I would like to share with you about the some features of the Adelaide city. So we are known as like most livable city in the world, always for a very long time, always top 10. The living cost is lower than other big cities like Sydney or Melbourne by like 11 to 14%, but the standard of living is still very high. And there are ample of opportunities. So many opportunities in the environment, and also many different kind of development projects going on. So it's a much opportunity for students to, for example, find their jobs or do their further development in Adelaide. And also for myself, I've been like in different cities, capital cities for study and exchange and work in Brisbane, in Sydney, and in Adelaide as well. And then I personally also feel like Adelaide have a very good balance between work and living and lifestyle. So I think it's a very good location for students to choose for their further study and also for their living. And also we are known as the 20-minute city because everything is well structured and is convenient to easily to navigate. So it's also good for our international students. And I think the transportation is also half price for international students, which is the same as domestic. So it's also very affordable. And also for SA graduates, if students graduate in South Australia as the regional area, they will be eligible for second 485 visa if they have the first one and then they reside in SA as well. So for example, if a student study at Flinders and then they are eligible for the first 485 visa, and then they keep staying in South Australia, then they will be eligible for applying to the extra 1 year, which is very handy and very important for students if they want to have like further planning and development in Australia. So this is something that is like the incentive for students to study in Adelaide and choose Flinders. And also the next one will be want to show you something around the campus. So this picture shows the Bedford Park main campus, the main campus that most of the courses will be held here. And you can see from the picture, actually it's only showing part of the campus because we want to show the campus and also the surrounding facilities. But this is part of the campus only because the lake here and then behind the lake, actually, we have other teaching buildings as well. So it's a very big, like American style campus, very comfortable, very beautiful, and a really good place for students to study, can concentrate on their study, and also relaxing as well with all the greens next to our campus, surrounding our campus. And both on campus and also nearby, we have different facilities such as like a post office and restaurants and ATMs, pharmacy, etc. And we have health and counseling services center in the school, so that if student needs to see a doctor, actually they can make use of the service on campus. Myself is also using that service. Very handy that you don't need to go to somewhere else if you need to see a doctor. And then also we have the Flinders Medical Center just next to our campus, which is our own campus teaching hospital. We are the only one in South Australia to have the on-campus teaching hospital. And also the Flinders Living, which is also we are the only one in South Australia having the on-campus accommodation option. So very good as well. Student can choose to live on campus, or if they want to rent a room or rent a house nearby, it's also very convenient and a little bit cheaper than renting a house or renting a room or apartment in the city. And we have the shopping center nearby as well, which is accessible through bus and only 10 minutes. So also very convenient. So these are all the the main campus and surroundings. So even though we are not in city center, actually it's very convenient and even a bit cheaper than you living near the city. And another update that I would like to share with all of you is about the train station. So currently we have different bus routes going through city center, our Tonsley campus, and also the main campus. And then we also got the train station or the train line from the city center to the Hornsley campus. And now we are expecting the extension of the train line from our Tonsley campus to our Bedford Park main campus. So in the very near future, around these few weeks, should be by end of December, then the extension will be finished. And so that in the near future, we can take the train in less than 20 minutes from the city center directly to our main campus. So the transportation becomes even easier for our students. And the next will be some points, some features about Flinders University. So overall, the ranking is very outstanding. We are the top 2% university worldwide and also ranked number 43 in the Asia Pacific universities. And in terms of the postgraduate employment rate, so about the employment job outcome of our postgraduate students when they graduate, we are ranked number 2 in the whole Australia. So very good survey outcome. And also in terms of teaching quality, student support, student-teacher ratio, and student retention, and also starting salary for these different aspects, we are also ranked number 1 in South Australia. So also very good for our students' outcome, the teaching outcome, and also their learning experience. And the teaching hospital that I just mentioned, the Flinders Medical Center. And regarding the placement and work integrated learning, over 70% of the Flinders program include this element. So we have a very strong connection with the industry. And many of our program, we have the placement topic. We call it the subject we call it topic in Flinders. So we have the placement topics. Some of them are core, which is compulsory. Some of them are optional that student can choose to do it or not to do it. But as long as they have the placement subject or placement topic in their program, is part of the degree. They don't need to be like finding another one, extra time, extra effort to do the placement, but actually it will be forming part of the degree. And because it's part of the degree, the college will be helping students to find placement. And for the compulsory subjects or compulsory topics is guaranteed placement. So for all students having the placement, of obviously they can get like hands-on experience and also gain like true experience during their study. But also for some professional degree, then this component will also meet the requirement of their registration as a professional afterwards, as the degree is accredited and the placement is also recognized. And regarding the computing and information system, also engineering, we have #1 in Australia ranking, very outstanding in terms of the overall experience for computing and IT, and also for learning resources in engineering. So also these areas with our town city campus, with our facilities, teaching staff, if student is thinking about computer IT or engineering, actually we are a very good option for them as well. And of course, need to mention the nursing program. We are we have a very long history in nursing teaching or nursing education. And in the world, we are ranked top 75 of the nursing program that is also very outstanding and well recognized. And another thing to must mention is about the Go Beyond scholarships. Students are so very interested in the scholarship program. So we have 3 scholarships for undergraduate, which is the 50% of the full duration, 25% or 20%. And for the postgraduate, we have the 50% or the 20%. So it will depend on the student's previous qualification, the achievement or their performance to determine whether they can get scholarship and which level they can get. And full terms and conditions and also the details is available in the very easy URL that you can go to, which is flinders.edu.au/go beyond. And for most of our courses, we have this scholarship, and also it will be for several years. So if you have students for 2022 or onwards, actually, you can also make use of the scholarship to as part of your introduction and consultation to students regarding Flinders courses. Only a few of our courses are not included in the scholarship schemes. For undergraduate is the medicine program, the Bachelor of Clinical Science, Doctor of Medicine program not included in the scholarships, the Bachelor of Health Science and Master of Optometry, the 3+2 program, and also the 2 nursing bachelor programs. They are not in the scholarship. But for all other courses will be included, including like Bachelor of Speech Pathology, Bachelor of Nutrition and Dietetics, and etc. are all included in the Go Beyond scholarship. And then for postgraduate, again, there are some courses not included. For example, allied health postgraduate courses like Master of Audiology, Physiotherapy and Speech Pathology, Doctor of Medicine program, Research Master, Clinical Psychology, and also Master of Social Work. So these courses are not included in the Go Beyond scholarships, but all the other masters, including like IT, business, teaching, and or even occupational therapy, nutrition and dietetics masters are all included in the Go Beyond scholarship scheme. And we will also be rolling out pathway scholarships and alumni scholarships, which will be targeting students who have, for example, a diploma in Australia, will get some credit getting into our bachelor, and we will be able to give them the pathway scholarships. And also for alumni, we'll be targeting our Flinders own alumni that if they want to further study at Flinders, that they may be also eligible for the alumni scholarship. So if you have any students that may fall under these categories, feel free to submit the application through Yes Education. And also we have quite a number of new courses in 2021, and the details are available on our website. There is a landing page on new courses. And for the time constraint, I will be selecting 2 new courses to introduce to you. So the first one is the Bachelor of International Business in Wine, Spirits and Tourism. So this is a bachelor level course under business that focusing on like the wine tourism and also wine industry and also associated tourism and business opportunities. So in the course, we have the 4-week industry placements, and also we have field trips and study tours. So it's a very hands-on degree that they not only study the theoretical topics, but they also have some experience in their study. And also they know, like they will learn about the business theories and also associated like tourism opportunities in this field. But also they of course need to also learn about the wine and spirits itself. And we have a sensory lab on our campus that students will need to they can learn about how to judge the quality of wine and spirits, and also understand the history and some associated stories, so that they can have a more comprehensive understanding of their products and also associate like business opportunities. And in the degree, we have already embedded the WSET Level 2 Award in wines. So this is a very well-known qualification among this industry. And students, if they graduate from this bachelor degree, they will also have that already in the degree. So which is a very good component for students and help them to find their jobs in the future or develop their career in this field in the future with this specific qualification already in their bachelor degree. So this is some features of our new course. And another one is the engineering management. So this is more about the postgraduate level course. So for engineering management is designed for example, if students has some experience in the engineering field and they are planning or they are like aiming at doing a higher position with some management position, for example, which is actually the trend, because in the engineering field, not only we need the engineers to do it, but we will also need managers to manage the complex, for example, complex project, and also working with different professionals, not only the engineers, and also we need to, for example, see the timeline, control the cost, and all these other stuff that more about management. So that's why we have introduced, or we have established this new course to target those students, which is also a huge demand in the future that we can foresee. So we have both graduate diploma and master. So if the master entry, direct entry will be needing a student to have a bachelor degree in STEM, like engineering, IT, science, etc. And if a student doesn't have anything about these areas in their bachelor, actually they can also go through the graduate diploma, because that one does not include or require any particular discipline. So they can go through the graduate diploma and then go into master with some credit if they don't have a relevant bachelor degree. So the entry is quite flexible, and we foresee that it will be a demand, and also there are huge opportunity in the future in this kind of engineering management positions. So next I will be talking about some study areas in Flinders. So we have a wide range of different study areas and levels of studies, but today I will be focusing on the one that I have both, that in terms of time that I will be choosing those that students are very interested in, and also our popular study areas and popular courses that I will introduce to you. But for the full list, please feel free to visit the university website for the full list of the courses that we provide to international students. So first of all, is the education study area. So we are ranked #1 in South Australia in terms of full-time employment in teacher education and also in teaching quality. And our graduates, over 90%, will receive employment within 6 months, so very good job outcome. And also, if we look at the medium and long-term strategic skill lists, teacher is one of the professions on the skill list, and also from the government website, this profession is also having a good future growth and lower unemployment rate. So it's a very good option for students if they want to thinking about what they need to study, or if they're interested in education. Actually, this field is a very good option for them to consider. And at Flinders, first of all, I will talk about the courses that will lead to the teaching registration in South Australia, because I think many students are aiming at becoming a teacher after graduation in South Australia. So if they are aiming at becoming a teacher, then they will need to study these programs at Flinders. So depending on what the student's previous qualification, if they are aiming at bachelor degree, then they may choose our double degree program. So for our Bachelor of Education is a double degree, which is a Bachelor of Education in a particular level. For example, early childhood, if they want to teach little children. And then it also combined with a Bachelor of a specific area, for example, Bachelor of Arts, or maybe if they teach a secondary, then it will be Bachelor of Education Secondary and Bachelor of, for example, if they want to teach science, then Bachelor of Science. Then these combinations will be able to, you will be able to find these combination lists on our website. So it can fit different students' career aim for them to choose different course. Or if some students want to do master as well, then they can choose the bachelor and master 3+2 programs. And for students already having a bachelor degree, they can apply for our master of teaching. And we have different levels as well, depending on which group of students, which group of, like for example, is a little children or primary school student or secondary school student, etc. And I would like to highlight that for our Master of Teaching Early Childhood and Primary, we do not require any specific discipline that students study in their bachelor degree. In other words, any bachelor degree holder in any discipline can apply for Master of Teaching Early Childhood or Primary, because I noticed some universities may not be accepting all discipline students going into that, but we are one of the few that we do not have any requirement of the discipline of the bachelor going into the Master of Teaching Early Childhood or Primary. And because these courses are leading to teaching registration afterwards, so for entry it's a bit higher than other courses as well. In terms of English, it will need to be all sevens in all bands, or equivalent like 65 in PTE or equivalent TOEFL score and etc. And if a student doesn't have any English results, then they can also do the package with English course, and this is a direct entry, which means that if they successfully completed the required English program and achieve a certain mark, then they can just get into our main program. They don't need to do another test again. And also there is a teaching capability statement requirement that is for the teaching courses that required by the teaching board. So student will need to look at the requirement of the statement, submit that with the application before they need to pass it before we can do the offer and the subsequent steps. And apart from those courses that leading to teaching registration, we also have some other education related courses that do not lead to teaching registration, but for students, if they want to top up their skills or they want to further study about the education profession, then these are the course options. For example, Master of TESOL is one of the programs that many students are interested in as well. So because we have both Master of Education or Master of TESOL and Master of Teaching, so I have made this slide to compare and to make it clear which course should be recommended to students depending on their career aims. So basically, if student wants to become a teacher and register as a teacher in South Australia, then they must do the Master of Teaching because this is recognized by the teaching board. And the requirement will be higher, which I have mentioned in the previous slides. While for Master of Education or TESOL, it's more about like already, for example, the student already in the field have some experience, they want to top up the skills and or to specialize on a particular area in education, then this one will be suitable for them. So you may depend on the student's aim and also their career aspiration to recommend the correct course or the suitable course for the student. And next, which is also very popular, is the Master of Social Work. And as we can see from the skill list and also the job outlook, that this profession is very highly demanded in Australia. And again, for our course is recognized by the Australian Association of Social Workers. So student will be eligible for membership upon graduation. And also in our course, of course, we have the intensive placement, which is 1,000 hours in total. And it will be happening in the second and the fourth semester, which 500 hours per semester will be having the placement, which is a guaranteed placement. And just want to quickly highlight the new requirements for 2021 intake, the next year intake. For example, for the bachelor degree, because of the changes by the Australian Association of Social Workers, we need students to demonstrate in their bachelor degree or their previous studies to have at least 1 year full-time equivalent study in social and behavioral science. So we are following the Academy of Social Science in Australia definition about the social and behavioral sciences. So for example, according to the academy, apart from, for example, psychology, education, linguistics will be included, but also some other fields or disciplines such as management, accounting, history, geography, economics, statistics, etc. are also included. There is a quite long list from the academy to define the social science component. So if a student has at least 1 year full-time equivalent study, not the whole degree, 1 year full-time, then they will meet the requirement. And also for the IELTS, it will be IELTS 7.0 in all bands or equivalent, again, for example, 65 in all bands in PTE or equivalent score in TOEFL. And again, package is available and it's a direct entry. And we have taken the GPA requirement, so no GPA requirement from next year onwards. So as long as student has completed their bachelor, it will meet the entry requirement. And another popular course is nursing. So again, for Flinders, is a very strong program. We are the first nursing school in Australia and the largest one. And also, we have mentioned before the Flinders Medical Center as our teaching hospital. So they will have a very convenient environment for their clinical skills development. For their placement, it will be not necessarily everyone will be on the FMC. Some of the placement will be in FMC. Some of the placement will be also in other public hospital under SA Health SA Health maintenance. So, but the FMC as a teaching hospital definitely give a student a very good environment for them to accumulate their clinical skills. And so also we have the clinical labs and stimulation wards, just like the picture that we show on the slide, that they have like a very real stimulation that they can practice before they go onto the real setting during their placement. And the placement will be from year 1, and then for higher years, it will be longer and more hours. And also, again, in South Australia, we are ranked number 1 for nursing overall, and also for median salary in nursing. So to summarize what I've just said, the nursing program has been our strong program for long years, and also the Flinders graduates for nursing is well recognized and have a very high reputation in the industry and among the field and also around society. So if student wants to do nursing, Flinders will be a very good choice. And because of the recent changes by the NMAC, the nursing NMAC, so the Accreditation Council, and also the NMBA, which is the Nursing and Midwifery Board of Australia. So we need to follow their changes to do some amendment on the English requirement, credit assessment, and also entry requirements. So first of all, for English, because they have changed quite a lot on the English requirement. So mainly, student will need to provide an English test that is not more than 1 year old with the required score in order to meet English, or if they have studied in English-speaking countries for at least 6 years and 2 of the 6 years in secondary school level, then they may also declare English there as their primary language to meet the English requirement. Or if they're enrolled nurse, then they may also be able to use the enrolled nurse status to meet the English requirement. They only got these 3 ways to meet. There's no other ways to meet the English requirement. And also for packaging with ELICOS is possible, but if student wants to go into the program, they will still need to provide the English test. It's not a direct entry for nursing packaging. And regarding the course options, for Bachelor of Nursing, we have 2 different courses. For graduate entry, 2 years, or pre-registration, 3 years. So for graduate entry, it is designed for students who has already got the bachelor degree in any discipline. So including nursing, if the degree is not recognized in Australia, for example, if they are Bachelor of Nursing in China, for example, or in other countries that is not recognized in Australia, then they can apply for the graduate entry. There is a prerequisite requirement that they will need to have studies in the human biology or anatomy, etc. And if student has no such kind of studies, they can complete a short course online, for example, the Monash short course in human biology to fulfill this requirement. So student can submit their application first and to obtain the conditional offer, and at the same time prepare for this course. And if some student has some health science background in their bachelor, they may be able to use their studies in the bachelor. For example, if they have a Bachelor of Science in biology, for example, then they may have studied human biology in their course. Then we may assess their course syllabus to determine whether those topics or those subjects will meet the requirement. And for the 3-year pre-registration, it's mainly designed for students who have a pre-bachelor program, pre-bachelor for qualifications, for example, high school leavers or a vet degree or vet course graduates or students who study bachelor but hasn't completed it yet. So for this 3-year program, we don't have any prerequisite requirements and we don't have any subject requirements. So for example, if a student has a diploma of business and want to apply for a Bachelor of Nursing 3-year program, that's totally fine because we don't have any specific subject and also prerequisite requirements. And next, about the credit assessment. So for credit assessment is, again, because of the changes of the rules, we have to follow that to, which is a bit strict compared to before. If a student, basically, credit will be granted for 1 year likely if the student has a enrolled nurse status and also have a recognized diploma in Australia. Otherwise, if they have a diploma of nursing in other countries or in Australia, but they don't have enrolled nurse status in with an MBA, then it will be a case-by-case assessment that we will need to obtain all the course syllabus for case-by-case credit assessment. And unfortunately, we no longer accept the nursing registration overseas and working experience to do the credit exemption assessment or the credit for basing on the nursing registration and working experience. And the next one will be IT and engineering. So as I mentioned in earlier of my presentation, our IT and engineering students will be enjoying our campus at Tonsley, which is a new campus in the Innovation Park. We have world-class teaching and research facilities, equipment, laboratories, etc. And all our courses are recognized internationally with accreditation for Australian. For IT and computer science will be Australian Computer Society, and for engineering programs will be Engineers Australia. And again, for placement, very important component is within the course. So we have the 12 weeks for our undergraduate IT and or computer science program, and also postgraduate engineering program. We have the 12 weeks of guaranteed placement. And for our undergraduate engineering, it will be the 20-week one, which is one of the longest one in Australia. And we have a really good feedback from students on the placement component. And we have heard from some teachers saying that some students may already get the job outcome or job offer after they have finished the placement. And then actually they still need to do the year 4 to finish the degree, and the teacher need to remind them to focus on their study as well, not to just focus on the job offer. So which means that actually it's quite good, really good opportunity for students to find their future opportunity, and also to or even expand their network, which is beneficial to their future career development as well. And here are some key specializations under IT and engineering. For example, IT, under Bachelor of Computer Science, we have Artificial Intelligence, AI, which is a very like new, not new, but like evolving, and also it will be very important in the future and expanding field as well. So we have the AI course, which is one of the very first in Australia as well, having this bachelor degree. And also we have the game development, as the game industry is also like developing quite rapidly, especially now the COVID time. Actually, the IT thing and also game and online stuff is not affected at all. They are developing even more. So the game development is also really good for students who are interested in that and want to be like specialized to become developing games and also have a degree in IT. So this one is also a very good option for them. And for engineering, we have different specializations. So many of them you can actually notice they are also on the skill list. So which means that many of them are in a high demand in Australia, and they can definitely choose the one that they are interested in. And I would like to highlight the environmental one, which is a new specialization we have for next year, because nowadays we have engineering development that we also pay more and more attention on the environmental impact and also how we can do it in the sustainable way, that we are developing what we need to develop, but at the same time we are not damaging the environment, or we are protecting or like being more sustainable. So this Bachelor of Engineering in Environmental will be a focus as well in the future, and we are like doing that as a new program starting from next year for students who are interested in doing this specialization under engineering. And also I want to highlight the credit transfer arrangement for business, engineering, and IT, which is a more flexible arrangement. So we can, based on the level of the qualification that student completed and also the area of the or discipline that the student has completed, to determine a block credit arrangement, which means that we don't need to topic by topic or subject by subject to do the assessment. So for example, if a student has an advanced diploma in business, then if we can see that this is an advanced diploma and is in a related business field, then we can automatically give them 1.5 year of credit. So of course, it depending on the the specialization that I apply for. For example, if for accounting, that it may need further assessment because accounting is a credit by the CPA, that we need to make sure that for those subject that exempted is also meeting the requirement by the CPA. But in general, this is the quite flexible arrangement that we offer for students, so that they will get like credit and reduce their study duration at Flinders, and also to save their tuition fee. And this is applicable to both onshore and offshore qualification, as long as the assessment outcome is equivalent to an Australian diploma or advanced diploma, then we can apply the same rule, even though they have the offshore degree or offshore qualification. And lastly, very briefly but very important about our medicine and health science program, because we are like a health university, so these programs are also very strong. Our medicine program is top 10 in Australia, and we have two choices for students. If they are high school leavers, they can apply for the 2+4 program. If they have finished their bachelor, then they can apply for the 4-year Doctor of Medicine program. And also for our on-campus accommodation is guaranteed for all of our medicine students. If students are aiming at doing medicine in their high school, I will highly recommend the 2+4 program to them, because actually it's a faster program. They can study the bachelor in 2 years in this component, and then progress into the Doctor of Medicine if they meet the certain academic performance requirement. So this is actually saving 1 year's time. And also the Bachelor of Clinical Science is only having the normal bachelor tuition fee, which is also like kind of not as expensive as other medical program in Australia in other universities. And also in terms of full-time employment in medicine, we are again #1 in the whole Australia. So very promising outcome for our medical students. And health science is also like a fast-growing and highly demanded industry in Australia. I would like to highlight our Flinders Health to Go clinic. So this is our on-campus clinic in the main campus. And this is a student-led clinic, which means that student will be the one who provides service under the supervision of our teachers or professors. So they will be offering different kind of services according to their like majors, for example, speech path or physiotherapy, etc. And so this is a very good opportunity and environment for them to gain true experience during their study, and very convenient location, which is in the main campus. And these are all the courses that we have for undergraduate level that I won't go into detail, but what I want to mainly say is that we have a wide range of choices, and all of them we do not require interview, and we do not require prerequisite subjects or topics. So very flexible entry, and mainly based on the ATA or high school results. And for master level as well, again, many different kind of study areas they can choose. And I would like to highlight the audiology and speech pathology, which we do not require interview. And also we don't have any requirement on their prerequisite or bachelor degree discipline. So it's very good for students if they want to change their field into health sciences, because for other health sciences master, usually they will need to have a relevant background in their bachelor. But unfortunately, these courses are already full in 2021. And but for future intake, it will open in around early 2021 for application. But for entry into next year, unfortunately, it's already full. But for our other programs, we are still open for application. And about the some commonly asked question is like the graduate entry, which means that if some student wants to change their study area from their different from their bachelor degree, then what are their options? So I have like kind of tidy up one table. So if a student has irrelevant background, so what they can choose if they want to change their study field. For example, Doctor of Medicine, audiology, speech pathology, psychological studies, public health, and also teaching that I mentioned before, IT, business, and also law and legal practice graduate entry. These are some very popular courses that students will apply that they want to change their field of study, which these courses do not require them to have any background at all. And another thing is about the acceptance procedure that I would like to highlight, because some of our courses will have limited places. For example, medicine, allied health, nursing, social work, which is on the offer letter. So if they receive this offer for limited places courses, they will need to respond as soon as possible to hold their place, even though they are still in a conditional offer. So basically, if they are unconditional offer holders, they need to accept and play as soon as possible to receive the COE. And if they are conditional offer holders, they can still accept and provide evidence on how they will meet those requirements. For example, English test, they have booked IELTS for next month, or they have enrolled into a Monash short course to meet the human biology requirement, such as this kind of thing. So as to hold their conditional place to show that they are coming, and they are working towards to meet the conditions. And if they accept with the conditional offer, they don't need to pay until they finish meeting all the conditions. So after they meet the conditions, they will have the confirmation email from admissions, and then they need to make the payment by the deadline so as to receive the COE and secure the place. So that's why I have this slide to remind everyone, don't wait until the student finish all the course or finish all the English to meet the condition and then accept, because that one may be too late already, while some other students already accept the offer when they are preparing for meeting the condition. So they can accept before they meet the condition and pay after their conditions are met. And for English, we accept most of the popular English tests, and also just want to highlight the Duolingo one that we accept for next year March intake. Except Bachelor of Nursing, all other courses, we can use the Duolingo as the English test to meet the requirement. And we can also waive the English depending on the English requirement level and also the qualification that the student has completed. For example, if they have completed high school in Australia, then they will be able to waive all the English requirements except nursing. And also, for example, if they are having a tertiary qualification in Australia or some other English-speaking countries, they may also be able to meet up to 6.5 IELTS or equivalent. So we will be able to make the assessment when we receive the application to see whether we can waive the English as well. And for packaging, I've mentioned during my presentation that I summarize here that for teaching and social work, we can package and it is a direct entry course and also can use Duolingo for entry. But for nursing, because of the specific requirement, even though they can package, they still need to provide English tests before they get into the program of nursing, and they cannot use Duolingo. But most of our courses can be packaged with ELICOS that we have different providers that we recognize, and they can gain direct entry without providing another English test. And some courses cannot package English. For example, allied health courses that we have limited places, medicine, and these kind of like very few places courses. And apart from English, we also got the academic pathway for students for not meeting, if they do not meet entry requirements, including the foundation and also diplomas, which are offered by the Flinders International Study Center, FISC. So on their website, we have the full list and information about those pathway programs the student can also choose if they do not meet the direct entry into Flinders. And very fast, lastly, will be the GTE, quickly introduce to you or to have a quick recap that most application onshore should be low risk, or if applicants have their own visa, which means that they do not require student visa, or 485 holders, if they cover at least half of the Flinders course, will also be considered as low risk. Some flags that need to be aware is that if the student has a visa refusal history, or if they are having a regression of study, for example, they have a master applying for a bachelor, or they have a very large gap in their student visa duration, then we will be asking for more information for assessment. But if the student has the following situation, that will be reject the student immediately, including if they are needing or they are having a student visa and they are going backwards in their study level, or if they have a 485 visa and then they are applying for courses which is very similar to what they have already before their 485, then these will be also rejected immediately. But for most cases, it should be low risk for most of the application onshore. And in the application, which Yes Education will be doing the process, but when you are submitting the documents, please also provide relevant documents to support students' onshore activities, for example, visas, COEs, and etc., to facilitate the process. And yep, so this is coming to the end of the training session today. And please submit your application through Yes Education. And if any student wants to do a consultation with a university representative, please also arrange through Yes Education. We can see how to arrange that consultation session. And also so we can, and also we have our social account that I show into for you in the next slide. We have our Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, etc. And I would recommend you to go onto our YouTube channel because we have Virtual Open Day recently held online, so that we have actually filmed quite a lot of new videos, very recent and updated videos on different study areas, sharing by our academics, sharing with from our alumni and also current students. So it's a very good place for you to have like a more understanding about the course. The duration of the video is not very long, but they are giving you a very precise and important information of our specific study area. So please feel free to go onto the YouTube channel to watch our video and understand more about our courses, our campus environment, and also the perspective from our alumni, students, and also our academics. So yep, this is the end of my session today, the training session. Thank you again, everyone, for your time. So now maybe I will hand back over to Mike on the or anything Q&A student that you would like to ask.
Okay, thanks very much, Mandy. It's a very thorough and comprehensive presentation. So I think our team member and agent partners must learn a lot about Flinders University. So if you have any questions, you are welcome to leave your question in the Q&A box, or maybe just in the chat box is also fine. Please let us know, and we will have 5 minutes for the Q&A if you have any. Yeah. So we have learned that Flinders University offers quite a lot of programs that can lead to immigration, which many students looking for. Yeah, and also it offers quite generous scholarships for 2021. So if you have any students interested, please encourage them to apply as soon as possible. Yeah. Okay. So Mandy,
Yep.
may I know for semester one next year, will all the students back to the campus, or they still like blended learning, or?
In the meantime, for onshore students,
Yeah.
we will probably be like the big lecture may be still online, while the small ones like practical or like tutorial, then it will be on campus. So it will depend on each individual topics and subjects, because some of the need or the nature of the course that they must be on campus or physically attend, but some of them, especially for large groups, that if for safety reason, they may be still like in the online form instead of having then like 100 people in the lecture room, something like that.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah. So another question is because the previous pilot program bringing back international students has been delayed again. So do you know, like around when they will like reorganize flight?
So what we know is that the pilot program has been approved and it will be going ahead. We are anticipating the next, like the flight will be in January, like mid-January, somewhere around that date, and hopefully we will like the date can be finalized that they can come in January. And for this cohort, it will be continuing students, which means that students has been already started with Flinders but stuck overseas, that they cannot continue their study or they finish their study, especially for final year students. The pilot program is for the continuing students, and hopefully, of course, subject to the government and also the 3 universities in South Australia's arrangements. So subject to those arrangements, but we are hoping that if the pilot program is going smoothly, then for students who start, for example, still offshore, start online in 2021, will be able to come later in the year, that because they are continuing students. But of course, we will need to wait for further announcement from the government.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. Okay, I think currently we don't have any questions from the agent partners. I think in the future we will ask you case by case basis if we
Yep.
have any special questions.
Yep.
Okay, thanks Mandy again for your
No worries.
wonderful presentation today. So I will end the meeting and hope you enjoy the rest of the day. Okay.
Thank you. You too. Thank you very much. Thank you everyone for joining
Yeah.
today.
Bye bye, Mandy.
Thank you. Bye bye. Have a nice weekend.